Is all about that big time housing stimulus, guys. In today's stimulus package update and daily news update, up to $80,000 in housing stimulus available right now, plus even more housing stimulus to be expected as early as next month. I'm also going to answer your question about the 2002 housing market. How's it going to look after 2021's housing shortage, historically low mortgage rates, inflation rates, shifting workplace dynamics, and of course, new opportunities for young homebuyers, first-time homebuyers, to pursue their first homes. We've got our top 4 expert predictions for the 2022 housing market. Make sure you guys stick around until the very end of this video because we also have our 2022 prediction for rental prices. Is rent going to come down for 2022? Keep watching to find out. Now, whether you already have a mortgage, you're already a homeowner, or you're looking for your first home, or even renting, if you're living in your parents' basement, we got a little something for you guys right here on the Ron Yates channel. Consider us your go-to source for the latest, most accurate updates on the housing market, inflation, stimulus, the US economy, and of course, online business ideas and side hustles. Really, anything that has to do with your money and making money. I'm your guy. So join the financial freedom family, hit that subscribe button now and tap that notification bell, and we're about to get started. All right, so get your pen and your paper ready because I'm about to drop some serious mortgage stimulus for you guys. All right, you guys ready? So virtually half of all US states are already giving out homeowners assistance in one way or another. Now, you've got some opening up applications first, while others are getting ahead of the game with pilot mortgage assistance programs. Some of these programs are actually pretty good. Thanks to the American Rescue Plan from March last year, we got $10 billion in homeowners assistance funds sitting out there waiting to be tapped into. Remember that one, guys? That was a whopping $10 billion investment for states, District of Columbia, and other US territories to really just pump out some serious stimulus into the housing market. Each state was given a minimum of $50 million to provide their residents with assistance with mortgage payments, homeowners insurance, utility payments, and a whole lot more. All you really need to apply is to have had or experienced financial difficulties after January 21st, 2020, or hardship that began before this date but continued afterward. And with the pandemic still in the streets, who hasn't experienced financial hardship, right? Other qualifications include an income of $150,000 or less of the area median income, or $100,000 of the median income for the US, which is bigger, plus a mortgage balance of less than $548,250. Now, the first step is a screening process where you'll be asked a series of questions to see if you meet basic eligibility requirements. Now, some of the questions include if the state you're applying for assistance in is your primary residence and whether you still own your home. You can also expect to answer whether or not you've suffered financial hardship associated with the pandemic after January 21st, 2020. Now, don't get intimidated by those requirements, you guys. Why not just try, right? Now, along with Puerto Rico, here are the US states where mortgage assistance applications are already open. All right, so first one, California up to $80,000 per household. Louisiana up to $25,000 per household. Maryland up to $30,000 per household. New York up to $50,000 per household. Oklahoma up to $20,000 per household. Rhode Island up to $50,000 per household. Tennessee up to $40,000 per household. And Virginia up to $30,000 per household. Even more exciting are these states who have already gotten a head start with their pilot mortgage assistance programs. All right, so you got Arizona, Arkansas, Colorado, Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, Massachusetts, Michigan, Mississippi, Montana, Nevada, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Texas, Wyoming. Other states say details on their home mortgage assistance programs are coming soon. So you can check out the National Council of State Housing Agencies website for the latest details on that. Just type in NCHSA HAF. You type that into Google, should see it right there, should pop right up. And again, that's NCHSA HAF. Don't sleep on this one, you guys. Applications are, of course, first come, first serve. And many states are already starting their initial screening process. So, don't delay. All right, now we've also got some stimulus for our renters watching right now. I mean, we really need it, right? Just take a look at the looming eviction crisis that we have coming for us.
But greedy landlord, he tried to evict me in 3 courts. Civil court, Supreme Court, and criminal court. Because he's trying to force me out of my place. He's such an evil old person. My apartment is only $100. And he want to take that, my comfort zone, away from me.
Much of the country is currently experiencing bitter winter weather that includes snow and below freezing temperatures. Now, listen, if you are one of those people, imagine you're not toasty and warm at home watching my show right now, but rather one of the hundreds of thousands of people kicked out on the street facing the end of rental assistance. And the last eviction moratorium in the country expires today. That is, of course, in New York. And to compound that difficulty, the country is still locked in the grip of a severe COVID surge that continues to devastate the economy. Joining me now to discuss this and more, Carl Gershon, Project Director at the Eviction Lab at at Princeton University. Carl, I'm so happy you were here. Well, in reading the papers and the reporting on this, your name and your work kept coming up repeatedly. You have been laser focused on this, so you're the ideal person to tell us when the eviction moratorium ended and as rental assistance ends across the country, what impact does that have on people at risk of losing their homes?
Absolutely. Yeah. You know, as we watched the federal moratorium expire, all the city and state moratoriums expire, there's a very clear story. Evictions started going up in those cities. Now, we did not see some of the drastic spikes that some of the worst case scenarios predicted, but that's because there were still other instances of federal support, right? There have been stimulus payments, there was extended unemployment insurance, there were the child tax credits, and there was $45 billion of emergency rental assistance. At this point in the pandemic, most of that aid has expired, and people are beginning to spend down the savings that, for once in their lives, they were able to accumulate. And so, New York's moratorium lifting, like you said, in the middle of Omicron, when it's 13 degrees out, at the end of 2 years of unprecedented federal assistance, we really do expect to see a lot of eviction filings moving through the system now.
This is where the rental assistance comes in. Now, if you're part of our YouTube fam, you've probably already heard about this one from our previous videos. But just to catch you up, programs can provide up to 15 months of back rent plus 3 months of advance rent. That's along with utilities, by the way. We're just trying to look out for you guys. Now, if you've already gotten rental assistance before, you can definitely apply again for a different time period. Now, by the way, this is very, very valuable information. If you know of anyone who could possibly benefit from this, I would totally recommend that you share this video on Facebook or wherever you happen to be on social media. Many people can benefit from this information. You may be keeping someone in their home by simply sharing this video. Now, to get rental assistance, you can contact your local or your state housing authority or government agency. A very handy website that I always point people to is the National Low Income House Coalition. Now, they compiled all the rental assistance programs right there, so you can just search for your area and get the number that you need to call right there. All you gotta do is hit Google up and just type in NLIHCERA, and you should be good to go. And again, that's NLIHCERA. Let me know if you guys find that okay. Okay, now with Build Back Better on the way, we could definitely see some stimulus that could restore what's been gutted from the US housing. Build Back Better would begin to restore those cuts to low-income housing and attempt to undo the damage of previous decades. At least this is what we've been told. Now, it would transform the lives of millions of people living in grossly inadequate, often dangerous housing, or doubled or even tripled up because they can't afford housing of their own in their cars, or perhaps no housing at all, living on the streets or in shelters. Now, the current version has $170 billion for affordable housing in the Build Back Better plan, and you can definitely get in on it. Now, here's what we can look forward to. Rental assistance. $25 for rental assistance. Most of the funding will go to federal housing vouchers, which can help lower income tenants afford rent and reduce homelessness. It includes about $24 billion of housing choice vouchers, which can help an estimated 300,000 low income households, including about 274,000 children. Once this drops, you can probably apply for even more rental assistance like before. Okay, so public housing, $65 billion to preserve and rebuild public housing, including to repair, replace, or construct new properties. We've also got affordable housing, $15 billion to build or preserve more than 150,000 rental homes for lower income families. So mark your calendars, guys. March 1st is President Biden's first State of the Union address, and sources are saying that they're gonna fast track this stimulus in time for Biden's big speech. Yep, any day now, we're gonna hear those magic words that we've been longing to hear: stimulus bill passed. Make sure you guys don't miss it. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and tap that notification bell. And while we're waiting for all that stimulus, let me answer some questions for you guys. How about the 2022 housing market? Will it be a good time to finally buy that first home that you've been looking at? Is rent going to be going up this year? Let's take a look at what our experts have to say when it comes to predictions for the 2022 housing market. Here we go. Okay, so first prediction, on the whole, the housing market will remain very competitive, but buyers are going to have some tricks up their sleeves too. According to Realtor.com's chief economist, 2022 is going to be another whirlwind year for the market. They expect home sales to increase another 6.6% and home prices to rise another 2.9%. 29% on top of the highs of 2021. Now, if you already own real estate, I would expect that your net worth will be going up during the year of 2022. But that's not going to stop the 45 million millennials aged 26 to 35 who are at their prime first-time homebuyer age. What's going to help out the buyer side this time is a bit of inventory pickup coming from builders still ramping up their production. They predict single-family startup homes will increase by 5% in 2022. Buyers are also going to have a little bit more buying power with the help of the competitive job market. Incomes are predicted to increase by 3.3%, plus workplace flexibility will also let a lot of people work from home. You know, a lot of that remote work will be there, and live where you want. So if you want that beautiful 4,000 square foot home out in the suburbs with a beautiful kitchen, granite countertops, and a nice backyard, that remote work job will allow you to have that and not even have to worry about a really long commute. Now that includes checking out homes in cheaper suburbs and in some cases, even completely new, less pricey metro areas. All right, so second prediction that we've got here, according to the experts, it's gonna be another unpredictable year for 2022. According to the chief economist over at real estate brokerage Redfin, they predict the 30-year fixed mortgage rates to slowly rise from around 3% to around 3.6% by the end of the year. Around late fall, those high mortgage rates will finally take a toll on those high housing prices, and we can maybe finally see a slowing down of annual price growth to roughly 3%. One more interesting part of their prediction, climate change as a major factor in home buying decisions. We're seeing it ourselves already. Natural disasters and extreme weather events are becoming more and more common in our country. And so that's why they expect home sellers to make significant investments in climate change resilient home features so that they can appeal to climate conscious home buyers. But what about you guys? Have you noticed that natural disasters are more and more frequently on the news lately? Drop me a quick comment down below. Let me know what you think. Okay, third prediction. Mortgage rates could rise, but it could still be a good time for home buyers. Mortgage lender Cornerstone predicts that 2022 will see a cooling in the market, but it's definitely going to still be very active. They said it may still be a seller's market in many areas, but there's likely to be more opportunities and wiggle room for home buyers, end quote. And here's the interesting part. They said it'll also be a great time to buy a home. Quote, a priced out buyer should be able to find more options. Experts also reinforce that 2022's housing market is not at all likely to crash. The conditions that we're seeing are nothing like those that led up to the crisis of 2008. End quote. Now, the chief economist at Realtor.com agrees that buyers will likely be able to get more for their money in 2022. Now, according to their prediction, quote, prices near all-time highs and mortgage rates expected to rise, we expect this slowdown in prices to continue, end quote. And good news for first-time home buyers as well. Quote, those who were not able to compete with the stronger home buyers during the hyperactive sellers market will have a chance to bid on homes in 2022. However, buyers should expect to pay close to the asking price as the housing inventory will more than likely be less than what it should be, end quote. All right, so for your fourth prediction, rent's gonna be even higher in 2022. Rental platform Zumper did a study and found that in 2022, rent prices jumped an average of 11.6% on a one-bedroom and a 13.6% increase for an average two-bedroom unit. They interviewed over 9,000 renters throughout the US and found that 81.6% said that they're planning a move in the next 12 months. Now, this large demand is what Realtor.com predicts as the main driver for price surges, going even higher for rental prices in 2022. Their official prediction, quote, at a national level, we forecast rent growth of 7.1% in the next 12 months, somewhat ahead of the home price growth as rents continue to rebound from slower growth earlier in the pandemic, end quote. So, is 2022 the time to buy your first home? Personally, I say buy when you're ready and always do your homework before taking the big leap. Me personally, I'm very happy that we own our own home and we also have investment real estate properties. Honestly, it's probably one of the smartest things that we've done. So feel free to share your buying and selling situation in the comments down below, and I look forward to seeing how I can help. I can definitely answer more of your questions in our coming videos, so just say the word. Drop your comments down below. Also, if you want me to go live, let me know, hey, I'd like for you to go live, Ron. I'd love to ask you some questions. That's cool too. But for now, that was today's stimulus package update as well as daily news update. Up to $80,000 in housing stimulus available to you guys right now, plus even more housing stimulus expected as early as next month. We also shared our top 4 expert predictions on where the housing market's gonna go in 2022. Make sure to share this video with your friends and your loved ones. I bet they could definitely use this information that was in this video. So hit the share button right there, guys. As always, I just want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. And a big thanks, a very, very big thanks for always lighting up that like button. I appreciate the love. More exciting updates in my future videos. Take care.